Yeah, so periodic phenomena means, I'll write it here. So which value repeats itself? Is it the x value or y value? Input or output?
No.
So output repeats itself after every successive intervals. Correct? That is called periodic phenomena. So the function which is following that property is periodic function. Function means, like for every input,
There's a unique output.
Yeah, so can this be a function? Circle?
No.
No, this is not a function. So if you, let's say, write like this, get the idea, right? It is repeating itself, but can this be called a function, periodic function?
No.
No, because it fails the what test?
Vertical test.
Okay, vertical line test. Yeah. So output repeats after every successive interval. Again, we are talking about y values, not the x values. Okay.
Yeah.
So the diagram in the graph repeats itself after we pass a certain interval along the horizontal direction. So this length of the interval is whatever we have talked just now, the interval. Length of that interval is called
a period.
Period of that function. Okay. Let's say there is a question. Given that this is a periodic function, okay, y equal to f of x is periodic. So given the values are, let's say 1, let's say 2, 3, 4, and let's say this is 1, let's say this is -1. So basically find the value of f of 15, say f of 100, let's say f of -1. Okay, so this is a question, find the values.
F of 15 will be 1. F of 100 will also be 1. And then f of minus 102 will be -1.
Okay, let us understand how. So what is the process? What is the first thing we need to find?
The period.
So given that it is periodic, so how much is the period?
It would go from 1 to 4 or 5.
We're saying this is the graph that is repeating?
Or from 0 to 5.
0 to 5. Is it like this?
Yeah. Couldn't it be?
Yeah. So 0 to 5. Period is how much? 5, right?
5. Yeah.
Okay. So I'm writing here P for period. Period is 5. And since f of 15 means it will repeat the same value as
5.
Yeah. So f of 5 is 1. So that is the value of 1. Or we can say it is the same as f of 0. Any doubt?
F of 15 is 0.
F of 0.
Oh, f of 0.
Yeah. Period is
That
5,
would be
right?
Yeah.
So it's the same as f of 0 also.
Yeah.
F of I is equal to f of I. Anyways, what about 100? It will be 1.
It's the same as it's the same as f of 5.
Multiple of 5, right? What about 102?
The same as number 2. Like, yeah.
See, it will be, see, minus 102, right?
Yeah, but it's the same, like, multiple of 2. So should it also go in line with minus 1?
Multiple of 2?
Like, for f of negative 102? Wait. Yeah, shouldn't it be in line with f of 2?
See, it is negative 102, right?
Yeah.
So it will correspond to minus 2.
Yeah.
So basically it will correspond to plus 3.
Oh, okay. So then it's going to be 0.
See, f of 3, that is, okay?
Yeah.
From the graph, look at here.
So,
It will be somewhere in the middle.
yeah. So 0, because it's in between minus 1 and 1.
Yeah. If we say that if it is this value is 0, then it is 0. If, let's say 0.1, not
Yeah.
1, it will be that. So I'm writing here b. So f of is equal to b. Okay. So that is the way. So this is not minus 1. Okay. So basically the concept is, let's say f of x is periodic with p, or f of x has a period p. Then f of x is the same as f of x plus or minus np, where n is equal to integer. N belongs to z. You know z, right? Integers.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you understand this notation? Plus or minus p.
Yeah.
Okay. Even if you subtract by the period, doesn't matter. So it just has to be integer. Just make sure that it is not like f of x plus half of period p. No. So this number has to be an integer. 1p, 2p, 3p, but not half p, point not 1p. No, no. Okay. So I hope that is clear. So that is about understanding periodicity and through the graph, interpreting via graph. So questions can be formed like, let's say there is a table given instead of graph. This question is about table. X and y values are given, input and output. So various values are given, and it is established that, let's say, f of x, f is periodic. Can you find f of, let's say, 100, 200 by looking at the values if it is given as periodic function given?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, it's like this previous question only. Okay, let's try that question. Let's see. It's a 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah. So try this question. Find the f of 100. Part A.
F of 100 is going to be minus 1.
Okay, first things first. Period is how much?
The period is 3.
Period is 3. So minus 1 is repeating after, like, you have to check these values, right?
Yeah.
So 4 minus 1. 8. Yeah, 4 minus 1 is 3. So f of 100 means same as,
F of 1 or F of 4.
yeah,
Either
4 or
one
1.
doesn't.
Doesn't matter. So minus 1 is the answer. Okay, let's say if I ask you, let's say f of 8, what is the answer?
It'll be 0.
0. Okay, let's say, yeah, this is part C. Part C is, let's say f of minus 8 this time.
Of minus 8?
Composite function, f
Yeah.
of minus 8.
So then you're actually trying to find f of 0. So it'll be 0.
You're saying like this, f of 0.
Yeah.
See why it is 0?
Because f of, oh wait, minus 8?
Yeah.
So f of minus 8 is equal to 0. So then you just put in 0. And then you find f of 0, and then f of 0 is also 0.
See, f of minus 8 is not 0. F of 8 is 0.
Yeah, but isn't f of minus 8, you go like back, and shouldn't it also be in line with 0?
See, it's the same simple thing. Period, right? Period is 3, right? So it will be repeating after 3, 3, 3 interval.
Yeah.
So f of minus 8 is same as,
Oh wait, is it? So f of 0 would be 0, and then f of minus 1 would be 1.
positive 1, right? F of 1. Any doubt? This.
So f of minus 8 is positive 1?
See, f of minus 8 is f of positive 1.
So it's minus 1.
F of minus 8 is f of minus positive 1. Result is minus 1. Okay.
So then you take f of minus 1 after.
So f of minus 8. Okay, are you telling the direct answer previously? Earlier?
Yeah. So then f of minus 1 would be 0.
Okay. So f of 2 and it is 0. So I think you understood, right? How to do if the graph is given or tabular values are given. Okay. For periodicity, this is about periodicity. The concept is simple. F of x is the same as f of x plus or minus np. N must be an integer. Okay. So the same value repeats after every specific interval. That is called a, if the function is, if it is a function, we call it as periodic function. Okay. So come to the next page. Trigonometry, right?
Yeah.
Before we do that, let's do one question. Yeah.
For g, it would be, wait, j is 120?
See, j is what? 15, right? So at
Yeah.
t equal to 15 means it's here.
Oh, okay, so shouldn't, but I thought
Okay. See, what is the period actually?
30 minutes.
30 minutes. So this is not like a usual clock where 30 minutes. See, for usual clock, for 60 minutes,
Yeah, this time it's moving twice as fast, so it goes fully around in 30 minutes. So for it to go halfway, it'd be 15. So then for G and K, it would be at 7 minutes and 30 seconds. or 7.5 for the x value, and then for the y value, it would be 124.
See, it's a bit simple. Hmm. See, coordinate of j is 15, right? So it will be at what point? Let's say I mark these points A, B, C, D. Where it will be?
For j,
J. For 15 minutes. Where does the minute hand lie? Point?
c.
C, right? So C is basically what? Total minus radius.
Yeah.
Maximum height h max minus r, correct? So 120 minus radius is how much? Kitna?
6. I mean 8. So it would be 4. So it would be 116.
Okay, yeah, 8 inch, right? So 112. Okay, 120 minus 8. Any doubt?
No.
Yeah, so it is 30 minutes. Next, what else?
And then g and k, the x values for both. Well, for g is 7.5, and then for k it's 22.5,
Okay.
and then the distance is 120.
For K it is?
Also 120.
Okay. Yeah, I think that's it, right? So
Yeah,
that's
and
about
then
part A.
mhm,
Next.
the t coordinate of g. H is positive and decreasing. So it would be B.
Okay. B, right?
Yeah.
So remember I told you, increasing, decreasing doesn't mean that it is concave up or down.
Yeah.
So basically, yeah, I guess you understand, right? Hmm. Concave up means rate of change will be positive or negative. I mean, increasing or decreasing.
Concave up.
Hmm. Rate of change will be increasing or decreasing. Okay, let's say positive, negative, C increasing, D decreasing. Which one is the right answer?
Can't it be all of them?
Concave up, right?
Yeah.
So if you were to pick up one single option, rate of change is increasing.
Yeah.
It's like this. See, rate of change means what? Increase in y value. If it is positive means y is increasing. We say that rate of change is delta y by delta x. Change in y by change in x, correct?
Yeah.
So when we talk about rate of change, if you say rate of change is positive, that means rate of something that has to be increasing. So rate of
Yeah. Okay.
see, it's the same thing. Rate of change positive. So rate of change is y is increasing. Y value is the change, right?
Yeah.
Rate of change means rate of change is increasing.
Increasing.
So rate of change is positive means rate of change is positive means concave up. Concave up. Graph will be up. Up means U. U shape like this. U shape bow.
Yeah.
Down means very obvious. Okay. Okay, it seems like there is another part in the question B.
Explain the rate of change.
T1 to T2 means pick specific intervals. There are a lot of intervals. We have marked F, G, H, K, F, G, K period. So F to G, G to J, like that. What is happening?
Um, the rate of change is negative and y is decreasing by 1.06.
In what interval you are saying?
For T1 to T2.
See, T means what? Time, right?
Yeah.
So basically, this is the graph, correct?
Yeah.
So T1 to T2 means specific intervals. So let's say F to G, that is one interval. G to J, that is one interval. What is happening specifically in F to G? What is happening?
So you're
Separately. Separate.
try to find the rate of change from G to J, right?
Hmm.
So then you would do like change in y over change in x for G to J,
Okay.
right?
So what's happening?
So 112 minus 120 over 15 minus 7.5. So minus 8 over 7.5. So you get minus 1.06.
See, they are not asking the rate of change between points G and J. It's like over this entire interval, every single point, what is happening to the rate of change? Is it increasing, decreasing? What is happening?
It's decreasing.
So it's concave up, right?
Oh, so it's increasing?
See, rate of change
Yeah.
is positive, okay? But the function is decreasing. F is decreasing, and function is decreasing, but rate of change is positive. Okay? That is from J to G to J. Did you understand?
Yeah.
And what is happening? Let's say F to G.
So this one, the change is negative and it's decreasing.
Yeah, so decreasing, that is the first thing. Second thing is concavity. Check the concavity.
Yeah, so it's concave down. So
Down. Rate of change is negative. Okay.
yeah.
Overall, the values are still positive. Output values, height. So, okay, they have already given that. G and J is T1 and T2. Okay, we have already found that. So I thought they are mentioning about specific intervals. Okay, can you tell me what is happening between K to P?
Uh, the rate of change is positive. Or
Rate of changes?
no, the rate of change. Yeah, it's positive and or it's negative and increasing.
Rate of change is positive or negative? Give me one answer.
The rate of change is positive.
Yeah. So basically, rate of change is, see, rate of change is decreasing. Okay, concave down. Rate of change is negative. Concave down, that is. Function is increasing. See, I'll tell you what. Come to the next page. Okay. See, let's say if we talk about concave up and then concave down. See, if I split this in half, both. See, from here to here, function is increasing or decreasing? Here to here.
From which? Okay, from
A to B. What is happening? Tell me.
like the rate of change or what's happening in the function. Like the function's decreasing.
Function is decreasing. That is the first point. What about the rate of change?
The rate of change is positive because it's concave up.
Okay. What about B to C?
The function is increasing and the rate of change is also positive.
So rate of change, if it is positive, doesn't determine that function is increasing or decreasing.
Yeah.
It could be both. So there is this misconception that if f is increasing only, then rate of change is positive. No, no, no. F can also be decreasing. Okay. So rate of change is positive means two cases. So rate of change positive means two cases. Either f is increasing or f is decreasing. Both are possibilities. Now let's talk about concave down. The symbol down means down. Up means U shape. Okay. A to B, what is happening? Function is increasing or decreasing?
The function is increasing.
A to B. Okay. And what about the rate of change?
It's decreasing because it's concave down.
So decreasing means rate of change is negative.
Yeah.
So B to C, what is happening?
From B to C, it's decreasing. And
Rate
then
of
the
change
rate
is
of
still
change is also negative.
So if I say rate of change is negative, that doesn't mean that f is decreasing. Okay. F can also be
Increasing.
So rate of change doesn't determine whether the function is increasing or decreasing. Okay, that is the theory. So rate of change doesn't determine for sure that f is increasing or decreasing. Chances are it could be anything out of these two. Okay. So this is about some basic graphical interpretation and etc. etc. So well, transformations is gonna be repeated in this class. I taught you how to do transformations in general of functions, correct?
Yeah.
So circumference 2 pi r. Okay. So basically, circle means what? How much? 360 degrees, right? So 1 pi corresponds to how much angle?
180 degrees.
Okay, so this is the thing. This is 2 pi, right? 2 pi means 360 degrees. So basically r into theta. Theta is in radian, not degrees. R theta is arc length.
Yeah. So just the radius into, or arc length into the degrees and radians.
Yeah. So for circle, full circle, it is 2 pi r. Full circle. R into theta, right? Theta is 2 pi for full circle. 180 degrees means pi means 360 degrees 2 pi. So r into 2 pi. Okay. Arc length. Sector area. Yeah. Is something like this, This is x by 360 into
The pi r squared.
pi r square, right? Yeah, so we already know how to convert this into in terms of pi, theta, radians.
You take the x over 360 and then convert into radians.
Okay. See, pi by 180 is angle radian.
One.
So 360 means half is left. So half theta into r square. Okay.
Yeah.
Theta means like this. Degrees and then, sorry, radians and degrees like this.
Yeah.
Okay. So half r square theta is the sector area in terms of pi. I mean, in terms of radians. What else? Yeah. If in trigonometry, let's say this is OA and OB. What is OA and OB called?
Like what OA is called?
OA. We call OA as terminal
The terminal side.
and OB as
It's like I forgot what it was called.
initial. This is
Yeah,
beginning.
initial side and terminal side.
Initial means like starting, beginning.
Yeah.
So we measure the positive angle for what direction?
From counterclockwise.
So this angle between terminal and initial arm. This angle is called
Theta.
yeah. We have a name for that. What do we call that?
Like a cube.
Hmm, something like argument, right? Okay. Let's say we are talking about a point. Say A is the terminal point. It has an x coordinate and y coordinate, right?
Yeah.
If let's say this angle is theta and this is r. OA is r. What is x and what is y in terms of r and theta?
Like to find the side.
Express x in terms of r and theta. Let's say coordinate of A is x comma y. Okay.
Yeah.
So express this x in terms of r and in terms of theta. Find a formula. And similarly for y.
And then y would be r sine theta.
Okay. So this angle doesn't matter if it is in acute or obtuse. Okay. We can directly use the
Yeah.
coordinate formula. So even if let's say the terminal arm is something like this in the third quadrant. Okay. You can directly use this formula. No need to worry about sine of x
If
and
it's
y.
acute, yeah.
Trigonometry will adjust that. You know that it will play like this. Trigonometrics will play like this. The sine ASTC. You know this ASTC?
Yeah, all students, well, I forgot what mine was called, but it's like for each quadrant, which is positive.
Yeah. All students
Take classes.
calculus. Yeah. Classes, calculus, whatever. Yeah. Let's say 50 degrees with x-axis and horizontally. Coordinate of, let's say, find the coordinate of A. If this length is, let's say, 5 units, OA. OA is 5. Find the coordinate of A.
So it's r is equal to root x squared plus y squared. So 25 is equal to root x squared plus y squared. So 25 is equal to x squared plus y squared, and then you would have to do sine of 30. Oh, wait, you didn't even need to do that.
Okay. See, question is simple. Coordinates of a, x and y.
Yeah. So sine 30 is equal to x over 5, and then x is equal to 5 times sine 30. So then that would be the y coordinate. And then if you wanted to find the x coordinate, it would be cosine. Yeah, that's the y coordinate. And then to find the x coordinate, it would be cosine 30 is equal to x over 5. And then the x coordinate would be 5 cosine 30,
Cos
whichever
30
one
is how
is
much?
5. Oh, sine 30 would be
Would be
sine 30 is 1/2, so it would be 5 over 2. And then for cosine 30, it would be root 3 over 2, so 5 root 3 over 2.
So the coordinates of point A are x comma y.
5, yeah, 5 root 3 over 2, comma 5 over 2.
So this is incorrect.
Okay. Oh, wait, the sign would be negative, so the x value would be negative. So it would be minus 5 root 3 over 2, comma 5 over 2.
See, first, okay, let's summarize what we have done. So we have done sine 30, cos 30, etc., etc., and then at the end, we have adjusted the sun, right?
Yeah.
What I was telling earlier was, we don't even need to do all of this. So what I was saying was, see, the formula for x and y is pretty simple. Is r cos theta, comma, r sin theta, okay?
Oh, yeah.
What is theta here? Is it 30?
Yeah. Or would it be?
Theta
Yeah, it's
is
30. Or would it be 150?
theta is not 30. Theta is 150 degrees. So measure with positive x axis. Correct?
Yeah.
Positive x axis. So that is the theta. So directly, so what is the radius? How much? Kitna? Pi, right?
Yeah.
So 5 cos 150, comma 5 sin 150. Cos 50. Cos 150 is how much?
Cosine 30, so root 3 over
Minus
2.
cos 30. Second quadrant.
Yeah, so minus root 3 over 2.
Minus 5 root 3 over 2. So that is what I meant by this trigonometry will adjust the sign, positive or negative. So only formula to it is important to remember is efficiency, r cos theta or sin theta. Okay.
Yeah.
So minus 5 root 3 by 2 and 5 by 2. Correct. Sin is positive in the Q2. So the same answer we got. So basically that is the thing. Theta is measured with positive x-axis, not the negative x-axis. Okay. In the question it is appearing 30 degrees is as the angle
Negative.
theta, but that is with the negative x-axis. So we have to ignore that. Find this. So similarly, if there is a question, let's say this is 45 degrees. What is the coordinate of, let's say, x comma y? How much? Can you directly tell me if the radius is, let's say, 5, 10?
So for this one, it would be 10 cosine 45, so 10 root 2 over 2, so then 5 root 2. It's just 5 root 2, comma 5 root 2.
See again, this is incorrect.
Oh, it would be minus 5 root 2 and then minus 5 root 2.
Theta is how much here?
Minus 135.
Yeah.
Or is it just minus 35?
Yeah, minus 135 or 220.
Yeah.
It's the same thing. So now if you plug it directly, you'll get the answer. So coordinate of A, is minus pi root 2 comma minus phi root 2. Any doubt?
No.
The thing is, in quadrant 3, both sine and cos are negative, so negative, negative. Okay. Okay, let's stop here. It's already